Hello guys, welcome to the lecture series of Relational Database Management System. Today I am going to conduct a lecture on integrity constraints of relational RDBMS, examples of integrity constraints in SQL, then how to create relational schemas, and after that how to solve different queries on that relational schema, that is multiple table queries. So integrity constraints. First constraint is domain constraint. Second is entity integrity constraint. Third one is a referential integrity constraint. Fourth one is a key constraint. Domain constraint. Domain constraint can be defined as a definition of a valid set of values for an attribute. The data type of a domain includes strings, character, integer, time, date, currency, etc. The value of the attribute must be available in the corresponding domain. Means, if you are inserting the record or value into the particular column, then it should be related to that data type. Means if you are using integer data type and you are entering something alphabets, so it is not valid. So that is domain constraint. Next is entity integrity constraint. The entity integrity constraint states that primary key values can't be null. This is because the primary key value is used to identify individual rows in a relation, and if the primary key has a null value, then we can't identify those rows. A table can contain null values other than the primary key field. Means if you assign a particular domain or a particular column as a primary key, then it should not include null values. So that is called as a entity integrity. Then next is referential integrity constraint. A referential integrity constraint is specified between two tables. In the referential integrity constraints, if a foreign key is a table 1 refers to the primary key of table 2, then every value of a foreign key in a table 1 must be null or be available in a table 2. So in that explanation, what you require, basically there is a one table having a primary key, and there are some values from 1 to 10 in that table, suppose. So while creating other table, if you give the reference of a one column to that previous table, which having 1 to 10 values, then the second table must contain 1 to 10 values. Otherwise, it should not contain, it should not contain the value rather than 1 to 10. Compulsorily you require in between. That is called as a referential integrity constraint. Then next is key constraints. Keys are the entity set that is used to identify an entity within its entity set uniquely. An entity set can have multiple keys, but out of which one key will be the primary key. A primary key can contain unique and null values in the relational table. Okay, so this is an example of library system entity relationship diagram. So this is a student entity, then this is a book entity. So there is a relation between student and book, many to many. So that relation is called as a PSB trans, that is student book transaction. So what student content? Student number, student name, student age as attributes. Means while creating the table of a student, you require these attributes as a column name. Then book having book number, book name, book author, book publisher. So these are the columns of the book table. And you have to create that transaction table, SB trans, which contains primary key of a student, that is student number, and primary key of a book number, that is book number as a foreign key. Both keys are a foreign key of a USB tran, and issue date as a date of issue the book. So this is simple example that we have to develop into SQL, and we have to solve some queries of that system. So next, here I have created some SQL, that is, first of all, create table student number, number 5, primary key. Primary key is a constant given to that student number. Then student name, not null, student age, between, check constant, age between 15 and 40. So let's create that particular table in the SQL. So we have to go to the worksheet of SQL. Here we have to paste it. Table created. This is the message that means this table is created. So likewise, you have to create both table, book number, number 5, primary key, book name, book author, book publisher. This is a book table, so that we have created. And again, you have to go to create that particular table. So run, table created. Here you got a message, table is created. So next, third, that is transaction table that we have created, SP trans. So here, student number 5, constant, ST, references student, means this is a foreign key of SB tran, references to the student table, means it references to the primary key of a student table. Means whatever the values from that particular student number is exist in the student table, it should be compulsorily in the SB tran. Other than that, it will not take any value. Similar way of the book, same thing. Then issue date is the date. So copy that. Again, you have to go for pasting it. Run. Table get created. So now you have 3 tables with you. So you have to fill the records into that. So I have filled 10 records into the student. So just put here. Okay. So these rows get inserted into the table. So then next, again, in the book also I have inserted 7 book numbers. That rows get created 7. Then, so transaction between that book and students, these are inserted into a SB trans, that is first number student with book 114 issued on 1st January 20. Then second student got issued 115 book on 1st January 20. Like that, we have made some transactions. So that also we have to put in the transaction table. Run. So these rows are also created. So here we have to find out how many records are there in each table. So we have to use select star from student, select star from book, then select star from SB tran. Means it shows you the complete records of the table. So run it. You will get output as 3 tables. First one is the student having 10 records. Second one is the book having 7 books, and this is the transaction table having the 8 transactions in the table. So this is about our data that we have created in the SQL. So let us see some example of the integrity constraints. So first is domain constraint. So in domain constraint, there should be a proper value insert into the table or column while inserting the record. So here I have inserted the invalid value into the student age. What is value? That is capital alphabet A, small alphabet S. So it is not a valid value for integer data type. Okay. So it shows you error. That is invalid statement. Okay. So if you put here something like 21, okay, it will be executed properly. That is, value is inserted. So next example of the second constraint is entity integrity constraint. In this constraint, if you insert the value for primary key and if it is a null, then it will not insert values properly into the column. So it shows you error, that is, cannot insert the value into the column. So next is example of, again, same thing. If you are not inserting proper value into the, as per the data type given into column, then this is an invalid student name. We have given a number, run. Again, invalid statement. So these are some examples of, suppose we know that in student table we have already inserted fifth record. So now I am again going to insert a duplicate student number, fifth. So again it is not a valid statement. It shows you error. So these are some errors of that particular